Hey guys, Scott here from Scott Hope, and today's tutorial is going to be a little different. Today I'm going to show you how to animate text in After Effects. So without further ado, let's jump right in. There are two types of animations you can do. Manual animation, which requires keyframing but is very flexible, and the other one is preset animation, which can be manipulated but does most of the work for you. Both of these can be done in 2D and in 3D. So let's begin. Press Ctrl N or click on the new composition icon to create a new composition. Then create a new solid by pressing Ctrl Y and make it whatever color you want. After you've done that, go to the Type Tool icon or press Ctrl T to start typing. Highlighting your text allows you to change your font, its style, the size, outline, and color in the character window. Feel free to explore all of these options as the possibilities are endless. To make your text fly in on the screen manually, simply go to the point when you want the animation to end, then press P and click on the stopwatch icon to keyframe the position, then press S to do the same for scale. Then go to the beginning of the layer and move the text out of frame. I'll also reduce the scale factor at this moment to demonstrate the change in size. Playing the clip, you can see how the text flies in on the screen. If you wish to make the text bigger, simply go back to that keyframe and increase the scale. If you want the text to appear faster, move the end keyframes for scale and position closer to the first keyframe, and do the opposite if you wish to make it slower. Make sure these keyframes match or else it will look awkward. You can also add motion blur to the word in order to make it seem more fluid. Click on the motion blur icon on the layer and enable motion blur in the composition. Now the text appears to be more alive. You can also rotate the text by pressing R and doing the same keyframing technique done with scale and position. You can highlight a certain character in a word to make the particular letter bigger or smaller than the rest of the text. Now if you don't want the word to immediately stop when it appears and want it to float a little, simply move a few frames forward from the endpoint, increase the position, then move in the timeline again, and copy and paste the keyframes from the original stopping point by clicking that keyframe and pressing Ctrl C, then press Ctrl V. Moving on to 3D text, we'll simply delete this layer by selecting it and pressing the delete key, and start with a new word. So now we'll trim this layer to a starting point by selecting Alt bracket and then select the cube icon. Doing this turns your text into a 3D layer. Now when you open rotation, a number of X, Y, and Z options appear, which allow you to rotate the text on all three planes. Simply by using the keyframe technique earlier, you can now animate the text in 3D. Don't forget to turn on motion blur as well. If you don't want the word to be rotated from the corner, you can change that by changing the anchor point. Right click on the layer and go to transform, then select anchor point. Change the X and Y coordinates to whatever you want. I've moved mine from the bottom left hand corner to somewhere more in the middle. Now you can see when I change the rotation, it spins from the center. You can also keyframe the opacity in order to make it slowly fade in. Start at the beginning of the clip and keyframe the opacity to 0. Then go to the point when you want the word to be fully visible and increase the opacity to 100. Do this process in reverse if you want to fade out by going ahead in the timeline and setting another keyframe to 100, then go to the point where you want it to no longer be visible and set it to 0. Like I said, the possibilities are endless. You can change the color of the text by selecting it and click on the white box and make it whatever hue you want. And you can make the text glow by going in the effects and presets and typing glow and dragging it onto the layer. Finally, animation presets are just like any other preset. They can be manipulated, but they already have a certain look, and they take away a lot of the work and creativity from the editor. Regardless, they are pretty neat, and it is necessary that I cover them. So let's make this word jump. Here in the effects and presets, the first folder is animation presets, and when you expand it and scroll down, you will find a text folder. Open that one and find the Animate in folder. Here you will find several effects pre-installed for any text. Just drag and drop and explore all the presets. But remember to hit Ctrl-Z to undo any preset that you don't like before you add a new one. Alternatively, if you know which effect you want for your text, just type it in the search bar. Keep in mind, if it's not installed in After Effects, it won't show up. The jump animation, however, is pre-installed in After Effects and has 5 different options. Simply drag and drop which one you want to use. Playing the clip, each layer jumps individually, but if you wanted to make it appear faster or slower, it can be edited. Another note to keep in mind, these presets do not add motion blur to your text, so that still needs to be done manually. In order to make the animation faster or slower, we need to move the end keyframes closer or farther away from the beginning keyframes, respectively. We need to go into the text options and find the keyframes that have both a starting point and an ending point. The 3 highlighted options are the ones that control the speed of this animation. Going in and selecting all of these end keyframes will allow us to do so. Now you can see when we move them closer, the animation got faster. When we move them farther, you can see that they have now slowed down. Keyframes for presets are typically advanced and can be intimidating, but after watching this video, I hope you have a better understanding of how to animate text. As always, you can leave any questions in the comment section below, and if this video was helpful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.